So what's the most valuable passport in the world? You know, for the next time you and your international friends are drunkenly arguing over whose country's better, and you need some boring facts to put them to sleep so you can actually win the argument. Well, don't worry, we have your back. There are a lot of ways you can judge what passport is the best. How big they are, how many pages they have, how blue they are. But we'll be looking at how many other destinations you can get into without needing a visa or any prior approval. Why would countries let someone just jump on a plane and enter their country? Usually to promote economic cooperation and tourism. If the cast of Jersey Shore had to figure out how to apply for international visas to Mexico, they'd never be able to spend their American dollars on Cancun beaches talking about who gave them chlamydia, and Mexico just can't have that. Now there are some situations where you can travel across any international border without a passport. For example, this is a United Nations laissez, which is technically not a passport. It's a travel document issued by the UN to UN staff. This works mostly like a normal passport, and even has some extra special features like visa-free access to even more countries than a normal passport, and certain levels of diplomatic privileges.
Diplomatic community.
Just been revoked.
With the added disadvantage that apparently immigration officers often don't know what these are and get confused. Of course, that's because these are rather rare, which is also why, for the purpose of this video, we're not going to close up shop 1 minute in and say the most valuable passport is one of these bad boys. And in even more interest of not having a 1 minute video, let's talk about what the least valuable passport is. Well, that's easy. It belongs to this little country most people probably haven't heard of, called Afghanistan. Oh wait, that's Afghanistan, and since half of my viewers are American, they should be plenty familiar with it. It's hard to overstate just how useless Afghani passports are, but just for comparison, only 26 countries allow visa-free access to one of these passports. That's about 33% fewer destinations than even North Korea, and even fewer than Palestine, whose status as a country is, well, let's just not get into that. Some countries get a bit of an advantage, like most of Europe. Thanks to the Schengen zone, any member of these 26 countries can freely move to any other without a visa. Meanwhile, some countries have a bit of a disadvantage. Have an Israeli passport, and Malaysia won't let you in under any circumstances. And even if you just have an Israeli stamp in your American passport, Kuwait still won't let you in. And some passports are just a little weird. The Vatican only has about 800 citizens and 450 passports, but those are comparably good passports, getting you visa-free into 77 countries. Based on YouTube analytics, about half my viewers are from the United States, and sorry to say, it's not you guys. An American passport gives you access to 187 countries out of a possible 227. Wonder why we're counting out of 227 when the United Nations only has 193? Well, the International Air Transport Association is the body that tracks all this information, and they count places like Taiwan, that to any reasonable person is a sovereign country. But thanks to China, it's not invited to the UN club. But if you wanted a little more, you could get access to another passport from another country. 21 countries around the world let you become a citizen or permanent resident by donating or investing into the country, even if you never step foot in it. These come with widely different price tags. A $100,000 donation, otherwise called a legal bribe, will get you citizenship in St. Lucia and access to 157 countries. Or they can be as expensive as the $2.4 million real estate investment required for a Cayman Island passport, giving you access to 167 destinations. If you're an American citizen and have always dreamed about traveling to one of your country's frenemies, just without the friend part, well, buy a $100,000 passport to Antigua and Barbados, and just like that, you have a second passport and can fly into Cuba, Iran, or Russia. And some passports can quickly become more or less valuable. In the last 30 years, the number of countries accepting visa-free travel to Taiwanese and UAE passport holders has nearly tripled. Meanwhile, just in the last decade, thanks to worsening geopolitical conditions, 37 countries have stopped accepting Bolivian passports. So enough stalling. What country has the most valuable passport? Just barely beating out South Korea, Germany, and Singapore with 191 and 192 visa-free destinations is Japan at 193. There's only 33 countries you can't visit with a Japanese passport, mostly in Northern Africa. At 193 travel destinations, that makes it 7.5 times more valuable than the world's least valuable passport. The strength of the Japanese passport mostly comes down to Japan being a big international tourist destination, not many countries hating Japan, and them being on their best behavior since the whole World War II thing. Kind of crazy to think about how in only 2 generations, Japan went from warriors trying to conquer the globe to whatever this is.
You know, I really need a bath. You're more than welcome to join if you want a good scrub down too.
What did he say?
All this means a lot of open borders. Although, you could get access to 3 more countries by buying a passport to Turkey and Antigua and Barbados, bringing your total up to 196. If you made it this far in the video, you'll probably like the rest of our content. So subscribe and check out this video about the longest day you can experience. And remember, there is always more to learn.